Hey guys, guess what? It's Valentine's Day. So what does that mean for us Christians, right? Can you celebrate it? Is it okay? What's the deal with it? Well, I got you. Don't worry. We're going to go in a little bit about the history of Valentine's Day and whether if you can celebrate it or not as a Christian. Hey, stay tuned. Welcome to Pure Frequency. So before we get into if we can or if we can't, let's talk about the history of Valentine's Day. So it's pretty obscure of whether it came from the Romans, because they had a practice that they did on Valentine's Day where they would have boys pick girls' names out of like a box. It's almost like, choosing a mate type of thing, and it would be like cute and that society would do it. But also there's a Christian side to it too. So Valentine's Day was celebrated on February 14th. Some of its roots have Christian traditions, most notably associated with Saint Valentine, a 3rd century Roman priest. So according to the legend, Valentine defied Claudius II's ban on marriages for young men, believing that single soldiers made better fighters. He continued to perform his secret weddings, and this is what ultimately led to his. So over time, Saint Valentine became the symbol of love and affection, and his feast day was established in the calendars. So as the holidays evolved with the time, cultures mingled in, societies mingled in, and corporations mingled in and made it exactly what it is today. A corporation mess. A big giant corporational mess full of candies and all the confection one can desire. Valentine's Day, the day of love. What does love mean in the Bible? Let's check it out here. One of my favorite verses is love your neighbor as yourself, right? And we can find that in Leviticus 19:18, right here. We see that this love is said, right? In English, we know that it's love. But I like the illustration of love here in the Hebrew, which the word is ahava, which means to have affection for. It's having a strong emotional attachment to someone. So this command is telling us to have a strong emotional connection with the people around us. With it being one of the fruits of the Spirit, let's see what the New Testament says in the Greek. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. We can see that in Galatians 5:22. The Greek word used here in this reference is agape. Agape means affection, benevolence, a love feast, charity. A love feast is pretty cool, right? That's like, whoa, I'm about to feast on this love. Like, it's about to be a whole lot. I'm about to gorge myself on some love. Wow. It's the literal attitude that God has towards his son, Jesus Christ. That's the fruit of the Spirit. So the fruit of the Spirit is this type of love. We're supposed to have affection towards people around us. This is saying a lot here, but it still doesn't give us a clear view on whether Valentine's Day is good or not. So okay. I know I'm taking a little too long with whether we should or whether we shouldn't. But I got something different for you. Ultimately, the decision on whether you should celebrate Valentine's Day is between you and God. With this in the back of your mind, anything that causes division amongst the brethren isn't really a good thing. If celebrating Valentine's Day is going to make your brother stumble, maybe you shouldn't do it. Not explicitly said, but with a different scenario, Paul gives us a clear view of what we're to do if we are okay with doing something, meaning it's not hurting our conscience or how we connect with God. He used a different illustration, however, with foods offered to idols. But if it causes your brother to stumble, don't do this. We could see this in 1 Corinthians 8:13. By this illustration, we know that days celebrated that aren't specifically Christian do nothing because they are about nothing. Really, they are about nothing if these gods do not exist, right? They're not God, right? We do know that sometimes demons can be described as deities, but this isn't really that kind of party. You know what I mean? This is something to celebrate the love for one another, or the love for your wife, or, and my thing is this: love should be expressed every day, not just one day. It shouldn't take one day to express how much you love someone. And for the people who are waiting to receive some kind of great grand gesture, bugging, out of pocket. Listen, we get it. Love is good. Sometimes people ain't got it like that though. So the expectations are set super high. Materialism, man. Fall back on that. That's a danger zone. That's one of them danger zones. Proverbs 3:3 says, "Let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you." We have to be faithful. We have to be rooted in love. Don't let it forsake you. These are the things that we should be focused on, not on just one day of celebrating your quote. But hey, this is just my take. This is just something that I read. This is just something that I've shared. You don't have to take what I'm saying straight to the bank. Read it for yourself. Dive into the scriptures. Start researching these things because they really could help you. Now, what happens if you don't celebrate it, or if you just decide, you know what, altogether, I'm just going to do away with everything I celebrate, excluding the certain days that we celebrate for the Lord? Well, I would say this. You're not wrong either. If you don't celebrate it, you're not wrong. And if you do celebrate it, you're not wrong. Check the motives. If you're doing it to put in place something else above God, then yeah, you're out of pocket. Maybe you should just chill out on that and just stop it altogether. But if you're doing it to give a grand gesture to someone you care about, or your family, your kids, or this, that, and the other, come on, man. There's nothing wrong with it. We understand that there are different things out there like Cupid and all that. You don't want to get into all that stuff. I'm cool with that. I don't really get into that stuff. That's just me, right? But I'm not going to put my yoke upon your neck. I think it's time for us to start researching these things ourselves. We probably, I don't know many of you who've done this, but if you've been searching and clicking on the internet and saying, hey, can Christians celebrate this? Like, just don't do it. If you think it's going to cause your conscience to sear within you, don't do it. If it feels like sin, don't do it. Just don't do it. You're better off not doing something than you are. You know what I'm saying? So God bless y'all, man. I just wanted to give you a quick little study on Valentine's Day and whether or not you as a Christian should celebrate it. So you have my answer there. If it wasn't quite clear, let me reiterate it. If you want to, go ahead. If you don't want to because it feels like sin, then don't. But don't judge the other person for doing it, and vice versa. God bless y'all. I love y'all. Peace. So I'm here with my daughter, Jenny, and I got a question for you, kid. What does love mean to you?
Love means, what it means to me is like being comforted and like being like nourished and like taken care of. Sort of like how like Jesus loves me.
Okay. Cool.
And like someone I can like talk to and have like fun with, and yeah.
Notice how she didn't say her parents.
Well,
She said, well. Nah. Jesus before parents all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Good stuff.
you can't be mad
Thanks,
at me
kid.
for that.
I'm not mad at you at all. That's what's up. All right, thanks. Hey, honey.
Hey, baby.
Hey, this is weird, right? Because like I'm sitting on this side. Usually I'm on that side.
Yeah, you usually are on the side.
So how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I kind of like it.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
What does love mean to you?
To me, love is caring about somebody so much that you don't really hold anything against them. Like you will correct them and tell them when they're wrong, but with love, with caring, because you don't want them to like walk down a hole in the middle of a street. And also when I think of love, I just think of God. God is love.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.